I come terribly on the pictures, you know, with my outstanding ears and my big nose and my... I'm not a good subject of photography, but
this is Fred Brill. Born in the Free State of Danzig during the early 1920s, his father worked in transportation, overseeing imports and exports along shipping lines over the Baltic Sea. By the time Fred was in his teens, the Nazi regime had begun to march over Poland, forcing his family to flee to Warsaw, then Italy, and eventually through Yugoslavia, Greece, and Turkey to the Near East, where Fred and his brother Richard joined the Free Polish Army. But this isn't all about the war an old veteran faced. It's about this man, Mr. Brill. An excerpt from local writer Mary Coffey's Meet Your Neighbor segment states, "Near Rosemont, there is a charming, self-effacing man, now 91 years old, who has lived a life which has been alternately dangerous, dramatic, and blessed." That's the Fred Brill I want to show you today. One to which the war was a significant part of life, but in this short time I hope I can show through his own words that he is a man who passed through some of the worst facets of humanity and still found a life to live.
if you consider the fact that in Second World War, of course everybody has to be 90 or above 90.
Yeah.
And there are some people who were a little younger, but I was one of the little younger ones. 15,000 of us are dying every month. I always say to people, I don't buy green bananas, but this is a saying that a friend of mine coined. You know, I can go tomorrow. But the good part of it that I feel that at this moment I still have my computer, I have a correspondence with the whole world, and I have friends all over the world, and some of the people are gone and their children stay in touch with me and they send me emails in Polish, in Italian, or in German or something like that, and I want to answer it. I can answer it in the proper language. Most of them speak English anyway. I'm a horseman. That's my sport, which I love, and I always was involved in it. Wherever you look in here, you see horses. Presents are horses, and on my pictures are horses. My daughter is a horse lady. This is one of the horses I had, was a giant, and this is my daughter on her horse. And those are some other pictures that you see. That's my one of my horses that we had. And it was a long time ago. Those days you didn't have to wear anything on your head. Today you have to use a helmet. Unfortunately, my hearing, as you know, is very bad because this is also a war injury. I lost this ear entirely. This is just a decoration. So the head looks balanced with two ears. I had 14 pieces of shrapnel in my spine, but I drive the car. I don't ride anymore because my family doesn't want me to do it. In my age, when you fall off a horse, you break your spine and you become, no matter how much brains you might have, but you become a vegetable. Okay, now you can stay with us for a while. Go lay down. And yeah, here do it. That's his bed.
think you just
You
need
got
some
yourself a
attention.
friend. Anyway,
Okay.
Warsaw was bombed by the Germans. Among other things, there was a building on the same side of the street that we were, about 2 or 3 houses further, closer to Main Street in Warsaw. It was a lull between two bombing, and they had the signals, so people started to go out from those almost completely ruined houses, and they're coming out of the window because the front of the house was destroyed. I went with my brother outside, and we helped a couple of people to go out of the window. Couples, elderly ladies, elderly, they might have been in 30s, but for us we were old because we were youngsters. My brother was 17, I was 16. Anyway, we helped out those 2 ladies out. When I first came to United States in 1949, I went for a walk in Central Park. And there was a couple moving, 3 people moving around and speaking Polish. So I stopped them and said, "Excuse me, I'm kind of lost in here. Can you show me the easiest way to get to the nearest subway?" So of course they told me. But the lady told me, "You know, I had a son who was also in the Polish army, and he was also in Italy, and his name was Coral, that's my wife's maiden name." And they invited me to their house. So a couple of days later, I went over there. I met the daughter that they had, and the daughter was the young lady that I helped out of the window in Warsaw in 1939. I saw enough horror in the war to prompt a statement that shall make to you. I am not a pacifist. I think that every country has the right to defend itself. Every country has obligation to have safety of their citizens. And every country should have the smart bombs and very strong army. I don't think that being a pacifist is a right thing. But on the other hand, I saw enough things done in the war that it makes me think that in 21st century, people must find something else than murder themselves and murder the innocent children and women and people who are not combatants. So I hope that you young people will come up with something which is smarter than the atomic bomb. Or if you come with another bomb, which will be a smart bomb again, that won't be used. You have to be able to get yourself involved, and you know that you have to respect other cultures too. I see that with the exception of the fanatics, which are terrible all over in every religion, there are fanatics who just sacrifice future of their children by making them slaves of the religion. Religion was invented instead of ethics. I tell you that yes, Pope is the greatest figure in the world because he is a nice guy. He can be a nice guy. I'm glad that people believe in him. There so many people do. But you know, I don't want him to be my God. He is his own God, you know. Very interesting because that carries the culture and carries the tradition. As you say, a lot of people get together because of religion, because this is a substitute for something else.
Yeah.
My mother got cancer, breast cancer, and she was operated and died in terrible shape in one of the cancer hospitals in New York. Okay, you came back, so you fought your way. You were a good boy. Okay? Anything you want to know for future, let me know. I'll also prepare it.
Okay.
Thank you very much for coming. You know, some of those things are difficult to talk about, but that's what it was actually. My father was quite a guy. When Poland was occupied and he has the guts, he says, look, we knew that we're going to wind up in a death camp sooner or later. So when the embassy, Italian embassy, wanted to help us, so he says, well, you know, let them take us to the nearest railroad station, and then we'll make our own way out of occupied Poland. He had guts. We went by train. We went to Italian border. Myself and my brother were turned back, but the rest of it I told you already. So this is why it's difficult to talk about.